there, Rick with Smart Drive Test, talking today about the Canadian logbook and the rules on the Canadian logbook. This is a fundamental course. I'm not going to talk to you about any other rules other than the ones to get you going. There are different rules for north of the 60th parallel, but I am not going to talk about those because they don't apply to very many people. You need to know the rules of the logbook. If you get pulled into a scale, you're not going to get a fine. You're not going to work the day for free. We're right back to talk to you about that. Rules of the logbook. You're allowed to drive a maximum of 13 hours in one 24-hour period according to Canadian rules. The reason for the 13 hours of driving is that during that 13-hour driving period, you're going to work another approximately an hour at least in the on-duty not driving, which totals 14 hours. You have to have 10 hours off duty during the 24-hour period. You have to have one 8-hour block, consecutive 8-hour block, and you have to have another 2 hours off duty. Most drivers take the 2 hours off duty in 2 breaks of 1 hour at the 4-hour increments. So if they drive 13 hours over the course of the day, they have 2 1-hour breaks at 4 hours, another one at the 8 hours, and then another 4 or 5 hours of driving to make up the total 13 hours. So they have 2 1-hour breaks and 8 consecutive hours off duty are the basic rules of the logbook. As well, you cannot drive after accumulating 14 hours of on-duty and driving time after that period has elapsed. So for example, if you drove for 8 hours and ended up for whatever reason in a crash, got stopped at the side of the road, and you ended up driving or waiting on duty for another 6 hours, so you get 6 hours of on-duty time and 8 hours of driving time. After that 14 hours, you cannot drive again until you take 8 consecutive hours off duty. You cannot drive after accumulating 16 hours on duty from the start of a work period. So if you start at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're still on duty at 10 o'clock at night, you cannot drive after that period. So if something went sideways and you were off duty in the middle of the day for a period of time, once that 16 hours elapses, you can't drive anymore without taking 8 consecutive hours off duty. The last rules of the logbook that are pertinent are that you have to have 14 days in the truck with you at all times. Most log sheets are carbon copies, so that's fairly easy, and they come the logbook is 1 month, so most drivers just have 1 month of log sheets in the truck. So what you do, you got the previous month and the month that you're currently working on. So if it's April, you have March and April in the truck with you. Every 20 days, according to law, you have to hand your log sheets into the company. Most companies will have a policy that they want the log sheets handed in at the end of every trip. So, rules for the logbook. Maximum 13-hour driving time. You must have a total of 10 hours off duty in a 24-hour period, 1 8-hour consecutive block, and 2 additional hours in breaks, not taken in less than 30-minute increments. Most drivers will take 2 1-hour breaks over the course of the day at the 4-hour increments of their driving day. So it'll be at the 4-hour mark, the 8-hour mark, and then take their 8-hour consecutive off duty. You cannot drive after accumulating 14 hours of on-duty and driving time. And you cannot drive again after being on your work cycle. So if you start at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's 10 o'clock at night, you cannot drive until you take 8 hours off duty. Hand your log sheets in every 20 days to your company. You must have 14 days in the truck. We also talked about the hours that you can drive. 13 hours maximum in Canada. You can work and drive a maximum of 14 hours and cannot drive after that period of time. And if your work day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're still on duty at 10 o'clock at night for whatever reason, after 16 hours you cannot drive again. Those are the rules in Canada. If you like what you saw here, the complete course is over at my website. You can find the link here. Head over there. All this information, additional written down information for rules of logbooks, quizzes, multiple choice, true, false, Exercises, there's 3 exercises that you can do to fill out logbooks. The maps are included and all of the details to fill out a logbook. And at the end, you'll get a certificate of completion, all of that for less than $25. I'm Rick with Smart Drive Test. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, subscribe below, hit that like button, and remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now.